Judge, at this time, people would call forensic tech Margaret Lavala.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Watch your step one of the stairs.
Thank you.
Don't speak to the mic, you don't pick up the whole in your lap.
Whenever you're ready, Ms. Lee.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon. Could you please state your name for the record?
Margaret Lavala.
And where are you employed?
Currently, I'm employed with the Macomb County Medical Examiner's Office
And when did you start there?
in July of 2024.
And before starting there, where did you work?
I worked with the Detroit Police Department as a forensic technician.
Okay. And how long had you had that job?
I was there for about 6 years.
And what, as a forensic technician, what are your roles and responsibilities?
We would respond to scenes in the city of Detroit. We would take photos, collect evidence, search for evidence, and then compile a report based on our findings.
And I want to take you back to March 14th of 2024. Were you working with Detroit Police as a forensic tech at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you working alone or with a partner?
That day I was working alone.
And I want to take you to the area of 7 Mile and Berg. Is that in the city of Detroit?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you dispatched to that location on March 14th, 2024?
Yes, I was.
And what is it that you did at that location?
At that location, there was a wooded area just south of 7 Mile to the west of Berg, and we searched that wooded area for evidence related to a potential missing person.
Okay. And what is it that you did when you searched?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What is it that you do when you search an area?
We will canvass the area in an ordered fashion, myself along with the other officers that are on scene. We are looking for things that are out of the ordinary or might suggest that something had taken place at that location.
And did you know what you were looking for at that location?
We were looking for clothing and shoes.
Okay. And did you take any photos?
I did.
And did you collect any evidence?
I did.
Okay. And I want to show you, may I first look for exhibit 14?
Yes.
Showing you the Market People's Proposed Exhibit 14, it's a PowerPoint. Could you tell me, do you recall going to this area?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And these photos, there are 129 of them. Do they fairly and accurately depict the scene of 7 Mile and Berg as you saw it that day, back on March 14th of 2024?
Yes, they do. That's your recollection.
And Your Honor, I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 14.
No objection. Okay, there'll be a minute.
Thank you. Did you end up finding any evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
What evidence did you find?
We collected a pink jumpsuit, bodysuit style, and then a black hoodie that had a pair of white headphones in one of the pockets, some gloves, a towel, and a pair of red, black, and white gym shoes.
Okay. And Your Honor, may I publish?
Yes.
Says you have to. Oh, Exhibit 14, this is going to be photo 2. What is it that we have here?
So this is the photo card that we would take at the beginning of processing any crime scene. It includes the date, the time, the location that we are responding to, as well as who is the current officer in charge that ordered us out to that location, the crime or suspected crime that we are investigating, as well as my name, the code that I'm working, and the report number that is assigned to that case.
Okay. Now I'm going to not go through all 129 photos here. I'm going to show you some that I want to reference. This is for record purposes, photo 30. What do we see here in photo 30?
We are looking west down, so that fence on the left of the photograph is the fence for an abandoned building at the south end of a parking lot on the west side of Berg. We are looking west towards the Rouge River into that wooded area. You can see what is that pink jumpsuit in the background of the photograph.
Okay. And in 33, what do we see here?
That is one of the black, red, and white gym shoes that we collected from the wooded area that I had previously stated.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that that's a left foot shoe?
Yes.
Okay. And in picture 35, what do we have here?
That was a photograph of the inside of the shoe, of the size tag.
And in 37, what do we see here?
Again, we are still looking in that wooded area. That is the black jacket that was collected. It is towards the front of the photograph, kind of behind that tree branch.
Okay. And in 42,
that was a close-up of the black hooded jacket that we recovered.
okay. And would it be fair to say that you opened up the jacket, or was this how you saw it?
We did open up the jacket to examine it, yes.
Okay. And in 45, what's in 45?
So that is looking in one of the pockets of the jacket.
And can you see what's inside the pocket at that point, or no?
That photograph, I believe there is a paper and might be the pair of headphones.
Okay. And in 47,
Yes.
what are we looking at there?
So yes, that is the paper and the pair of headphones that was recovered from that pocket.
Okay. And 50?
So that is going to be the hood of that hooded jacket. We noted that there are several holes in the jacket of unknown origin.
Yeah, and 52, what do we see here?
Again, we are looking into the wooded area. You can see that pink jumpsuit that is stuck in the branches of those trees.
Okay. And in 63?
Again, a closer shot of that pink jumpsuit.
In 78, what do we see here?
That is the right foot of the red, black, and white shoe that was recovered that was located in the trees near that jumpsuit.
Okay, and is that fair to say the right foot?
Yes.
Okay. And 79, what do we have here?
That is a photo of the inside tag of that shoe to show its size.
And in 88?
That is the pink jumpsuit that we recovered.
And 89?
That's a photo of the size and the label of that jacket. That jacket jumpsuit.
And in 120?
That is a photo of the Rouge River.
Okay. So how close was the Rouge River, I guess, to the area that you were searching?
So there was a large parking lot just off of the west side of Berg, and then there was an embankment leading down to the river. I would say less than 500 feet.
What condition was the evidence that we just saw in the photos? What was the condition of it?
It was wet, it was dirty, it was currently raining when we were out at that scene, so.
What did you do with the evidence once you photographed it?
Once it was photographed, we collected it, I collected it and took it from the scene. The items that were wet, we then brought to the Detroit Police Department evidence garage, where we have a drying chamber so that that evidence could be dried in a safe, secure, and way so that any type of DNA evidence could be preserved. And then once that evidence was then dried, it was packaged and processed and submitted to the DPD property unit.
And you would have been the one who placed those items in the drying chamber?
Yes.
And are you also the one who placed them on evidence afterwards?
Yes.
Nothing further, Judge.
Good. Ross?
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
So I believe you said that it was raining on the day that you were dispatched out to this location at the site.
That is correct.
Had it been raining most of the morning?
To the best of my recollection.
When you were dispatched out by somebody at DPD,
That is correct.
when you arrived at this site, were there already people on scene?
Yes, ma'am.
How many people would you say?
Approximately 10.
10. Were they all Detroit police officers, or were there other people there as well?
Everyone that I spoke with was with the Detroit Police Department.
Okay. But could you say for certain that everybody there was DPD?
No.
You were notified prior to leaving, or when you got there maybe, what evidence or what items you were actually looking for?
They told us we were looking for clothing.
Okay. Were you under the impression that somebody had seen something and wanted you to come out and photograph it and tag it?
Yes,
Okay. So you weren't the first person out there to see it?
that is correct.
Do you know who originally had seen the items?
I do not.
So you didn't speak with anybody about where they initially located them?
I spoke with the officers that were at that scene, that called me out to that scene, and they directed me to where that evidence had been located.
Okay. But you can't say for sure where the items were located before you had gotten there, fair to say?
Correct.
Did you see anybody else handle those items?
No,
But again, you couldn't say for sure that nobody did.
I can't say what happened before my arrival on the scene.
One of the items was a black hoodie, right?
That is correct.
Fair to say that it appeared pretty weathered.
Yes.
I think the report notes that there's like spider webs on it,
Yes.
some detritus leaves, that kind of thing.
Yes.
There was also a pink bodysuit.
That is correct.
Now that was not on the ground, correct?
No,
That was in some branches a distance away.
that is correct.
About how far away were those two items from one another?
Not that far, but I couldn't give an estimate right now of distance.
Okay, yeah, I don't want you to guess. Fair to say that the jumpsuit didn't necessarily appear similarly weathered to the hoodie?
No, it did not.
It did have some like dirt or stains on it,
It did, yes.
but it wasn't quite as weathered, I guess, same word I could use.
I would say so, yes.
Okay. So you collected the items.
Mm-hmm.
When you did so, did you wear disposable gloves?
I did.
Did you wear a new pair of gloves for each item that you collected?
I did.
Okay. And each item went into a separate bag.
That is correct.
It's got its own tag.
Yes.
And then you yourself drove them to this evidence garage.
Yes.
Now, this evidence garage, where is it at?
It's located at 11631 Mount Elliott in the city of Detroit.
And you yourself checked them in at the garage.
Yes.
What is the process for that?
So it is placed in our evidence tracker system, and there is a label in there to say that it is at the garage for drying. So it was noted that that was where it was going to be. The drying chamber is in a locked room, and then the chamber itself is also locked. So the key was acquired from my sergeant, my supervisor, to get into that room. The items were then hung up in a way that they were not touching each other. They did not come into contact with each other during the drying process. Then this chamber was locked back up. The door to the room was locked, and the key was returned to my supervisor. Then after 24 hours, then I returned to then collect that evidence where it was all packaged individually in their own bag, and then that was then taped, secured, and turned over to property.
And you did all that yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you took each of the took each of the items out of their respective bags, again, did you wear disposable gloves?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you change those gloves every time you handled a different piece of evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
And then when you recollected them, you put them in fresh bags,
Yes.
and you again used disposable gloves.
Yes.
And did you use different ones every time you
Yes.
handled each item?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Just briefly, Ms. Lavella, when you placed these items on evidence, are they each given like a specific evidence tag number?
Yes,
Okay, and could we just go through those really quickly? Do you have a report?
I do.
Okay, if you need to refresh your memory at all, please let me know. And if you want to refer to your report to refresh your memory, just let us know, okay? So for the red, black, and white Nike gym shoes, those were placed in evidence?
Yes.
And do you recall what tag number they were?
Can I refresh?
If that would refresh your memory, yes.
So those were item 84.
Okay, and that black hoodie that was also placed in evidence?
I'm sorry, I if I check again to refresh.
Yes.
So the black hoodie was item 85.
And what about that pink bodysuit?
That was going to be item 86.
Okay. And the headphones and paper, did you package those separately or together?
Can I refresh my report? Look at my report.
If that would refresh your memory.
So the headphones and paper were packaged together because they came from the same pocket under item 88.
88? Okay. And there were a couple other items that you also placed in evidence?
That is correct.
Okay. What were the other items?
There was a pair of gloves that was recovered from the wooded area as well, and a brown, blue, gray towel. It was a dirty towel, a dirty wet towel from near the parking lot.
Okay. And did you place that towel on evidence?
Yes.
What number did you place that on?
May I refresh?
Yes.
So the towel was 82.
Okay. And what about those gloves you were talking about?
The gloves were 83.
Okay. Was there any other items?
There was like a Ziploc bag that was recovered from the other jacket pocket that was placed under item 89.
Okay. And anything else?
Not to my recollection.
Okay. Was there any kind of rubber bracelet?
Oh, sorry, yes, there was a rubber bracelet that was recovered from that wooded area as well.
Okay. And was that on evidence also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what was that placed on?
May I refresh?
If it would refresh your memory, yes.
Thank you. That was item number 87.
Nothing further, Judge.
Okay, you all done testifying. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next witness.
At this time, people would call Talisha Moore.